much. Taja Sevelle from urbanfarming.org is here. You guys just saw that wonderful clip. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, we appreciate being here.
So tell us more about urban farming.
Well, you know, it's very exciting. It's a movement that's just grown, and I started urban farming in 2005 with 3 gardens, and what we do is we plant food on unused land and space, and we give it to people in need. But it's grown so much since 2005.
I was going to say just 2005, like when I read about how many cities you're in and how much food you actually produce, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's sort of, you know, it's sort of a bittersweet reason that it's grown this much. I mean, I think the good news is that people are more conscious about what's happening with the environment and what's happening with others on the planet and how we're all connected. The bad news, of course, is the economy, and so many people need food. So it's sort of a combination of reasons, and you know, it's certainly, I think, going to lead to wonderful things in the end for humankind as a whole.
Yeah, because it's much better for them to be growing that food right there than getting any food anywhere, any cheap food anywhere. I mean, it's ideal for all of us, regardless of the economics, to grow our own food.
Absolutely.
How did you get started? I mean, how did you just like, here's a plot of land, no one's using it, I'm going to plant some seeds, I'm going to like water it from like a neighbor's hose?
Well,
I mean, how did you do it?
It was kind of like that.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm a recording artist, as you know, and I got my start with Prince, and so that's been my life you know, as an adult. But I wanted to be a botanist when I was a kid, and so I went from, like, you know, hardcore wanted to be a botanist to, in one day, made the decision to be a singer and went on and signed a record deal. Long story
Lucky you. That's like, some people try to be a singer for their whole life and they don't go there, so that's great. Good
you know, it was a lot of work, but it, you know, it's really, that's been my adult life. And I was recording a CD for Sony in Detroit, Michigan. And when I got there and I started to become acquainted with what's happening in the city there, I saw all of this unused land in the city and just a tremendous amount of poverty. At that point in time, it was largely due to jobs that were being shipped overseas. And so as I began to learn about this, I said, you know, and I had lived on a farm for about 3 years when I was a teenager. So drawing, you know, my mind drawing on those visuals from the days of being on a farm, I thought, why don't we just plant on this land and feed people with this food? So I put my music career on the back burner and started urban farming with a pamphlet and 3 gardens and $5,000, and now we have the equivalent of over 55,000 community and residential gardens around the country and abroad.
55,000 gardens?
50,000, and that's residential and community gardens.
Bravo. How much food are you producing?
Well, it's tough to say with all, if you include the residential gardens, but with the community gardens, we've easily fed over 1 million people at this point. And when you factor in it's largely organic, and when you factor in the residential gardens, the number really goes up. And what we're excited about with the residential gardens, and I know that Ed Bagley was on earlier, and he's been a big supporter, and he's got edible landscaping in his yard. He was one of our first edible landscapers to get involved, and you know, doing that in his front lawn. What we're excited about with the residential gardens is it's really teaching people how to be self-sustainable and empowering people.